This is KATU News at 5 on your side.
So that's the bottom line.
No conspiracy.
This hoax, it should never happen to another president.
No collusion.
We're accepting apologies today, too, for anybody who feels the grace in offering them.
But also maybe no exoneration?
Even in its incomplete form, however, the Mueller report outlines disturbing evidence.
Tonight, what we're learning from Special Counsel Robert Mueller. The Attorney General's 4-page letter from a few weeks ago is now overshadowed by more than 400 pages written by Special Counsel Robert Mueller and his team. Justice Department released it today in redacted form, and reaction is pouring in.
We have team coverage tonight. Sinclair National correspondent James Rosen takes a deep dive into how we got here. Plus, we have reaction from Oregonians on both sides, along with analysis from Pacific University political scientist Jim Moore. We're going to start with a report, though, and the developing political story unfolding right now in D.C. On criminal conspiracy with Russia, Mueller finds there's not enough evidence to prosecute. But on obstruction of justice, the report says if we had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state. However, we are unable to reach that judgment. The report explains that the special counsel's office never set out to decide whether the president should be charged with a crime of obstruction. His concerns include fairness, because a case about the president might never go to trial. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley is joining other Democrats tonight in condemning how the U.S. Attorney General handled releasing that report. In fact, he's calling it inappropriate, saying it's abundantly clear that Attorney General Barr's actions several weeks ago and this morning were shockingly inappropriate and an abuse of his office. Barr misled the American people about the substance of the report while reciting the president's preferred spin and favorite talking points. The Attorney General is supposed to act as the people's lawyer, not the president's PR lackey. House Judiciary Committee Chair Jerry Nadler said something similar today, but so far Republicans are on a very different page.
Barr's words and actions suggest he has been disingenuous and misleading in saying the president is clear of wrongdoing.
And it seems to me pretty clearly the Democratic playbook is to go after the Attorney General. If you were asking for a poll in Washington of the most respected lawyers in town, Mueller, Rosenstein, and Barr would all be on the list.
Attorney General Barr is scheduled to testify before the House Judiciary Committee May 2nd, and Nadler is also calling on Mueller to testify before May 23rd. Meanwhile, President Trump posted a Game of Thrones-themed graphic on Twitter today. His campaign is on the offensive tonight, saying they're ready to turn the tables.
And they're having a good day. I'm having a good day, too. It was called No Collusion, No Obstruction.
In a campaign video posted on Twitter, the president called the Mueller investigation a false narrative.
In other words, different parties, different reactions. We asked people in different local counties the same questions about the special counsel's findings. Our live team coverage begins with KATU's Bob High, now live in Columbia County, which went for President Trump during the last presidential election. What are they saying out there tonight, Bob?
Plenty of reaction out here, Steve. That's right. In 2016, this was one of the Oregon counties where Trump came out on top, and his supporters are glad the Mueller report's been released.
I like this one.
You can tell just by the hat Ray Murphy likes to wear these days that he's a big supporter of President Donald Trump. The other hat he's had for about a year carries another version of one of the president's well-known messages. Ray says he's not surprised by anything in the Mueller report, including no evidence of collusion between Russians and President Trump's election campaign.
I expected this because of all the interesting things you were hearing beforehand. And it depends on what you listen to or who you listen to, what you're going to find.
While Ray believes the report's release closes the book on any questions of collusion in the 2016 campaign, he also expects the political debate to continue.
As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing there. They haven't found anything, but they're making things. And that's kind of the way we work. I mean, the government works, or Democrats.
And Ray Murphy believes the last 2 years under investigation basically had President Trump defending himself against allegations that he believes in the end the Mueller report had no evidence for. Live in Columbia County, Bob High, KATU News.
Okay, Bob, thank you. And our team coverage continues now with KATU's Chris Lytle live in Northwest Portland. Chris, like Bob, people were happy the report was released, but they were split on what was released.
Yeah, we asked people if they were happy about or bothered by the redactions. That's all this information behind these black bars. And what we found out, what we learned is that people had mixed feelings. We interviewed Bob Dorband in the South Park blocks. You heard from him at 4 o'clock. Dorband was the only person we talked to who said they read the entire report. Here's what he thought about the redactions.
The redactions were less than I had expected, so I don't think that, and I think the redactions themselves are probably appropriate.
Portland State University student and Air Force veteran Jonathan Cavada says he hasn't read the report just yet, but says there are generally reasons for redactions.
I served in the Air Force as an intelligence analyst, and I understand that some things, there is a reason why you don't disclose information to the general public. You know, certain people have the authority to look at information.
Michael Wax, on the other hand, disagrees, saying he has concerns over Attorney General Barr's allegiance and bias.
I'm a little skeptical because rather than getting the information in whole so I can decide, I'm only going to see parts that someone else has decided for me that I can review.
Coming up at 6, we ask those people we talked to at 6 o'clock if the Mueller report makes any long-term difference. Live in Northwest Portland, Chris Lytle, KATU News.
All right, Chris, thank you. We are not finished covering today's release of the Mueller report. And coming up in about 6 minutes, political science professor Jim Moore weighs in on the political side of things as we move beyond the Justice Department's criminal investigation.
Some new information tonight about the hours leading up to the death of Cowlitz County Sheriff's Deputy Justin DeRozier. The Sheriff's Office released a timeline today revealing that even after he was shot, Deputy DeRozier was able to describe the shooter and which direction he'd escaped. By 2 in the morning, investigators spotted Matthew Veach walking down the road. Deputies learned from his family that Brian Butts had traveled to the Veach home after the shooting. It took officers another 17 hours before someone gave them the tip that led to the suspect, Brian Butts. Butts was later shot and killed by police. A KATU crime alert, a 30-year-old high school teacher faces felony charges for accusations he sent explicit pictures and video to a student. Timothy Yee is a health teacher and wrestling coach at Aloha High School. Detectives say he was using social media to send sexually explicit messages, photos, and video to a student. He's currently on leave.
We have another crime alert for you tonight. Thieves are on the prowl in Vancouver. The Vancouver Police Department says car break-ins are on the rise and daycares are being targeted there.
KATU's Kelly Azer is live in Vancouver, and these thefts happen so fast.
They sure do. Actually, only 15 seconds for a thief to get in and get out and be gone. According to the Vancouver Police Department, these prowlers are watching you in parking lots. As you walk away, they come take a look inside, look for those valuables, smash, grab, and go.
I freaked out. I just was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
It was a sight Tina Warner never expected to see. She was away from her car for just minutes when thieves struck.
I came back out, my granddaughter looks at me and says, Grandma, look at the ground. And I looked at the ground and there was glass everywhere. And I looked up and there was a huge hole in the driver's side rear door window. Looked straight in, looked down, purse was gone.
Glass was shattered, her dog Shadow still in the car, scared. Glass all over her car seats, and missing from behind the driver's seat was her purse.
I was shaking my head to myself, why did I do that? Why did I leave it in the car?
In less than 10 minutes, her identity was in the hands of a stranger.
They got a checkbook, they got my debit cards, you know, my ID.
According to Kim Kapp with the Vancouver Police Department, this kind of thing is happening more often. So far this month, there have been 4 cases of car prowls in East Vancouver, each at a daycare, just like Tina's case.
Thieves will case parking lots. They'll case, daycare center parking lots, health club parking lots, sports field parking lots.
She says thieves are banking on parents and grandparents leaving valuables behind while dropping off their kids. This video from North Carolina shows just how it can happen. So to avoid this, Cap says you can be proactive.
Get them stored in the trunk if you have to carry valuables before you get to your destination, so that when you get there, you lock your car and you leave, and it doesn't look like there's anything in there.
Now, Tina tells me the scariest part of this whole situation is that she was being watched while she was parking her car, which Kim Kapp tells us that is exactly how these thieves do this. They watch you from the parking lot and then they strike. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, they are not only getting people's identities, there's something else much scarier that they're also getting that could pose a safety risk to our community. We'll tell you all about it at 6. We're live in Vancouver. Kelly Ozier, KATU News.
We'll see you at 6 o'clock tonight. Kelly, thank you for that. Here's a story a lot of people are following in the Blazers' quest to school the Thunder in their playoff series. The team got strong support from grade schoolers this afternoon. Portland Stevenson Elementary School was the site of a Blazers pep rally today. Young fans hit the hardwood for some fun and games with Blaze the Trail Cat and members of the stunt team. All the kids in attendance picked up some new Blazers gear. Portland takes on the Oklahoma City Thunder Game 3 tomorrow night. We'd love to see your fan pictures and your videos. To share, just head to our website, KATU.com. Click on the Chime In tab with the black bar right at the top of that page.
Well, it's an artistic window into memory.
Gives me peace of mind, gives me inspiration.
Still ahead, how art is helping people live with Alzheimer's and where you can buy the beautiful paintings they create. Plus,
publication of the Mueller report provides new insights into virtually every aspect of the Trump-Russia probe. I'm James Rosen in the Washington Bureau of Sinclair, back shortly with a deep dive into some of the murky areas that go well beyond the headline.